What if those guys are like, there's a protest? We're stuck here, it's hella hot, and they're just like, yo, what the You know, I don't know if they ever thought about it like that, but...
Now you're making Key and Peele sketches, that's good.
That's insane. Can I delete this part? I'm gonna save it for a skit.
What?
Yeah.
Welcome to a very divisive episode of Care for Boys, where we're going to figure out today who actually deserves to be deported.
Oh my god.
Me. Us, this whole table, we're out.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, you just gotta see like what the perks are, because if they're gonna pay for your ticket, all this, dude.
First class.
First class. Just get deported, free vacation, and what you do is you just pull your passport back out when you come back in.
That's smart.
Well, first you have to bull and say you're.
There's no stamps on this.
You say I'm illegal.
So you're saying...
They won't know though. They're just gonna go, oh, we're deporting this guy.
Yeah, they'll like if they're collecting people in the vans, you just walk up and you'd be like, no English.
Is that how it takes, you think?
If I do that, I think they just get called racist.
Honestly,
Because that's a really good observation.
Yeah,
how would they know?
When they come, they'll be like, where are you going? Where are you from? He goes, Japan. And then they sent me to Japan. I have a vacation, see my mom, all this and then I just come right back home with my passport.
honestly, people gonna say I need to get deported out of this table. They're gonna say I need to get deported. But then I'm so dumb wherever deport to, they're gonna say you need to go back to America. So it wouldn't work.
They're gonna deport you.
They're gonna re-deport me.
Yeah, you're gonna get deported from both places. Yeah.
Hell, this
Get
guy's
bounced
IQ
back.
is 0. Put him back. Yeah, I'm just gonna ride bikes.
Do you think everybody who's illegal deserves to be deported?
No.
What's the difference, do you think?
I mean, obviously, if you came from a criminal background, you know, same story. Like, oh, criminal, like you got that going, and you continue to do that, you need to go.
You're out of here.
You're out of here because you never learn from your mistake.
Okay.
People who are working hard and show proof that you are working hard, you're
Deported.
not a menace.
You're out of here. Gone.
Take it away.
That's good, that's good.
If you're a
continue.
menace to society,
You could stay in America.
no, you don't want to.
Oh, my bad. I misread you.
Look, if you're a good dude, if you're working hard, you're going to school, you serving the country, you chilling, it's cool. You stay. You know, just let's get some paperwork done and let's do our best.
Yeah.
But once again,
I saw a video of a guy a lady who's like, that's my husband. He's lived here for 30 years. They're deporting him. And I'm like, he had 30 years to like do something about it, man. Guy had 30 years, brother. That's a lot of time.
the argument is they tried and they still couldn't. So they probably gave up or it's too expensive. The fake.
Because a lot of it is money.
A lot of
Remember what
it
they were
is
saying?
there, right? The fake lawyers would even do that.
That's a scam. They be scamming
Dude,
people
there's
trying to get their
so many
citizenship.
Korean
That's a big
family
one.
I know scammed all these Korean families. Like my dad got scammed, and that's why he had to leave.
And the scam is they just keep prolonging, like, oh, you got another date. You got another date. You got another date. You got
I've
another
seen that
date.
happen to people.
I think everyone under 18, the DACA stuff should play. Because like think about in Subin's situation, or even I know this. My friend's actually taking care of his former business partner's kid because he went to jail, and then he's in jail, locked up. He's going to be there for 12 years. He has a kid. He's 12 years old, and then so my buddy's just like. He's not in the state, so he called his friend to go pick him up, living with them. He's paying for all of his bills and shit. And he goes, what do you do? Like, do you process them? This is where DACA might work. Because, one, he's culturally American. So he's a foreign national because he was born there, but he came very early to America. So he went through the school system. He doesn't speak any other language but English. All of his friends are here, right? So someone might look at that and go like, well, he's illegal, so he just needs to go back. That's just how it is. But then he also is estranged from his family. So he's a minor, and if they send him back, he has no persons to take care of him.
Language, you gotta relearn.
Yeah, and then he's American as he can be. It's just status-wise, he's just not an American citizen. So I don't know. That's probably Is that how DACA works? Where it's like if you're a minor,
Yeah, it's not. That's what you said, it does work, but it also works in different ways. You know, you don't have to be like coming through illegally. Technically, I guess people said you can be illegal, and you came in illegally, you can do it. Whatever. It's pretty much you're here because your parents brought you here.
Yeah, so it's the parents broke the law, right? Yeah. So they're saying that the minors...
It's not your fault.
It's not their fault. So, like, I think... I don't know if this already exists, but if there is, a fair way would be, well, when you're 18, let's say you didn't commit any crimes or whatever, then you should be able to process yourself as a citizen and go through the right way.
Yeah.
Because then it's not your fault that your parents came here and then abandoned you or went to jail or like whatever. Because it's like, what are you supposed to do? You're a kid.
Yeah.
So in those cases, I feel like they should stay.
They should get a job first, I think.
I don't really think it's cool. Like it's fair to like throw a kid out of the country and yeah.
So I mean,
But if the kid committed a crime, peace, bro.
That's like a non-negotiable for most of you guys. Like if they did it's something legal, they got caught, they should just be deported.
you know, I think maybe fair to trial.
If they're like,
Like if they committed something and it's not horrible, have the lawyer and do your best to fight for it, saying it was just
If you stole gum, peace, bro.
Yeah. So yeah.
what if he's like pirating movies? I'm like,
Well,
let him
here's-
stay.
Well, here's the
my
thing,
guy right
right?
there.
Like, if your record says
my dog.
one thing, if your record says one thing, but also it's different, right? If it's 18 and under, it's juvenile. Hey, you got into a fight. Okay, it's
Well, see, I think that's the part that I did hear that. Let's say that they do that. Where like, okay, you're fine as long as you don't commit a crime. But then I heard something where like then people are gonna start really like reporting people they don't like if they do one little thing, knowing that they have that. It's knowing they have that leverage over you. If they know you're illegal, then they're just
Well,
gonna.
that's already happened for a long time.
Yeah.
That's
So there's more incentive
that
to
to a lot of
not
my neighbors.
commit a crime.
Yeah.
Wow, what a terrible place to live.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think everything, because it's America, I believe everything should be fair. It's not just because you're illegal. It's, don't give them a chance. Get the fuck out. Like some countries, like they don't give you a chance. I don't give a fuck. Get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe in America because it's the land of opportunity, land of dreams. Everyone should have a fair everything.
But how fair can America afford to be? With
Depending on the president, I don't know. That's their option.
That's true. It's funny how we had a lot of presidents before that were like, all the refugees come here, we got you. But then now it's like both Democrats and Republicans are like, don't fucking come here, motherfucker. Don't fucking come here.
Yeah, it all depends who's in the office that year, I guess, right?
Have you guys seen this one like viral video of the dude who had to get an ambulance, and then he got the bill afterwards, and then he was like, "Oh, I have insurance actually," so he submitted his insurance to get the bill adjusted, and the bill came back twice as much.
So ridiculous.
And he was like, "Wait," he has the
that
phone
makes
recording while he's talking to them, and he's like, "Why do I have to pay more now that I have insurance?" And they're like, "Oh, if you don't have insurance, you're eligible for a discount, but because you do, you can't."
This is crazy.
But if there's anything,
If you follow the rules in America, you get punished.
Basically, if you're a citizen and you're doing the best you can, get fucked.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially with healthcare.
Well, that's why everyone's just fucking. They don't know what's going on here. They don't know what's going on there. That's why this whole argument's fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
it's clashing.
I think also people shouldn't act like there's no benefit to being an invisible person in the country too. Like, come on, guys. Like, there's a benefit to not being on the books.
yeah. But also too, it's like
I know one.
That's why you go 30 years without ever like changing the status.
I don't blame the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of them, there's a case where a lot of adoptees got deported.
Yes.
And I think that was fucked up because it was their parents that didn't process them properly. So then when they became adults, they're just like, well, you don't have your paperwork.
Yep.
So they got sent to countries that they didn't even, they're like, I don't even know Korea.
So fucked.
God, they should just send a reality camera crew with them.
It's a new TLC show.
I would watch all that shit, dude. Just fucking yummy.
Who's resourceful, who's not, who makes it, who doesn't. Yeah, who can just
Yeah.
Here's Americans traveling abroad,
Survive.
Deported America or some shit.
yeah, deported America.
Yeah.
Good show.
They should really dig into
They're
that.
like Korean kids in the middle of America, grew up in a white town, don't know nothing about Korea, and then they're just like, oh shit, I'm getting deported, and they just get sent.
The way Americans whine about shit, I just want to see them whine about shit in their home country.
Yeah, right.
Good luck, brother. Good.
He just wants a hamburger and shit. He's like, I don't want to eat that.
There's hella hamburgers in Korea though. But look, my friend goes.
Wait, that's a hit show.
That's not my information.
It's a hit show.
He goes to Korea and just to like teach English for a little bit, and he goes to like a pretty popular area for bars and drinks. And he said he's so surprised how many Koreans he actually meet that were adopted and that got deported.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of them also were in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
They were
So a
fucking
lot
up.
of them had records, so
Right.
they didn't give them a chance.
Messed up.
But that's not even talked about here. You know what I mean? They don't talk about Koreans being deported all the time. Da 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 da. You know?
Well, we act like nobody got deported until Trump just got in like 3 weeks ago or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Obama deported more people than Trump did in his first term.
but then someone's gonna say that's wrong. It doesn't.
It isn't.
Someone's gonna say Steve doesn't know what he's talking about.
They always say that.
Steve's just a Trump lover. That's why.
It doesn't matter because if they like
I
that
do like
person,
Elon.
they like that person. We like this person. That's it. There's no switching off. No one's willing to switch sides regardless.
I do think it was a bad move for the to stop the freeway and wave Mexican flags. I didn't think that.
That was-
I
that's
didn't think
always
they.
dumb.
I didn't think they gained support with that move.
You know, when I asked that question, a lot of on here, and I was like, why do people wave their home country flag if they want to be American, right?
Yeah.
And then like there were a lot of Mexican Americans that were like, yeah, that shit's so stupid. And the one that made sense was like a lot of the people that are waving the flag, they don't just see it as nationalism, but they also see it as a sign of just culture.
Yeah, culture.
So then they're not saying like, we're invading you as a Mexican, but it's more like
We're proud.
we're it's like, hey, we're here too, and we contribute to America, and we're Mexicans. But then
They should know that the message ain't getting out, bro.
no, because it's
Rocking
not-
the freeway,
no,
waving that flag
you can't-
doesn't
it
get that
doesn't.
message
you can't
out.
block the freeway.
What I mean for the rest of Americans, if you walked around with American flags and said we're also American too, that makes way more sense than other country's flag.
Yeah.
That means you're way more loyal to that country than this country.
The intention behind your messaging doesn't always help, right?
No.
I understand the intention, but
Yeah.
are you getting your message across?
I think people are completely misunderstanding it, and then it seems like they're way more prideful of Mexico than America.
Yeah.
Well, also, you could be waving your own USA flag, the American flag, and people are like, "Oh, you're just a Trumper." You can't just be proud of your country,
Yeah, that's what it means
If
now.
you have a flag outside your house, that's what people think.
Yeah.
which is
I believe it's just all emotions getting in the way.
Of the freeway.
yeah, the emotions.
100%. They're emotional. That's why they're on the freeway. Which, once again, we all know, we all understand why you're doing it, but not a lot of people knows the contact.
It's a better cause than fucking
Yeah.
whatever
I
else
mean,
they do.
regardless-
Like stop oil drilling. It's like all right, you for sure can't be on the freeway for that.
Yeah, the oil people,
If your grandma-
Stand in the fracker.
yeah.
Yeah, legit.
the oil people gotta go, cause I need
Yeah, that
I need
shit's
oil,
whack.
bro. We all need oil up in this bitch.
Well, it's,
I empathize.
It's like we always say. It's like you can't just say just stop. You have to say just start with this alternative. You got to give people something else.
You
can't
should
just-
know. You should make sure. You should stop it. We should stop every truck, and you let people starve, and then at least you stop the oil. Like what a
Yeah.
bunch of jokers, man.
Yeah, totally halt the
fucking
infrastructure where it
idiots.
stands.
Yeah.
Put us all in ruin so you can sit there and go, I'm now happy.
Yeah.
I think any protest stopping the flow of traffic has got to go.
You can't create contention among people and then try to get your point across.
So I'm not trying to be dick or nothing, but check this out. You know all the traffic they stopped? What if one of the trucks had hella illegals in there trying to make it to America still?
That's funny.
And I'm just saying, like I'm not being racist.
And they get caught because they get
right, but then but
Downtown of the 110.
I'm just saying.
They're waiting to get deep into America.
they're trying to get really in there.
They're trying to get on 4th
What,
Street.
what
and
if the,
shit.
what if the
Like
Mexicans in the truck that because it happens, they all got caught before. This is a normal case. I'm not being racist, but it's very normal. What if those guys are like, there's a protest? Fuck, we're stuck here. It's hella hot, and they're just like, bro, what the fuck? You know, I don't know if they ever thought about it like that, but
Now you're making
point.
Key and Peele sketches. That's good.
that's insane. Can I delete this part? I'm gonna save it for a skit.
What?
Yeah, I'm just
We're gonna
kidding.
be
Don't do
rich.
that. Don't do that. But yeah, but I'm just saying. That kind of would have been funny though. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a more like cynical view about why, like, what's going on and why we need it. And I think that our economy depends on exploited free labor.
100%.
So like, if you think about, I mean, at least for me, it just doesn't make any sense, like how this country would work if everybody was a citizen, because no citizens actually want to do the manual labor that immigrants will do.
Well, they also, a lot of these factory farms don't want to pay good wages to people
exactly,
either.
Right?
It's all built on that too.
And so that's what I mean. The whole entire economy, I don't know if it would actually work if everybody was a citizen. So they probably need undocumented people to come in
Right. So
and do the slave labor.
1,000%.
Right. And it might be that it makes more sense to go, hey, every couple of years we let the flood come in because a Democrat's in. And then every couple of years when a Republican goes in, they play the bad guy and say, get the fuck out. Because it never gives them enough time for so many people to be registered through the process legally. So then they get kicked out. Some might stay and then some might get in, right? But what happens is, if you think about throughout the US history, every new group of immigrant is the exploited group. So it was like, first you had the Anglos, right? And then they would call in all of their buddies in the UK and say, American dream, come and fucking become an indentured servant. They did that. Next phase, let's get all the Germans and let's get all the Eastern Europeans. But they weren't white, they weren't Americans. It was Anglo-Christians and then Irish Catholics, they were the laborers. And then they also had slaves, all that stuff, right? And then you just keep going into the future. Now they need a new group of immigrants to come in. Oh, now we got the Chinese. They could come do the railroad shit, all that. And then when someone becomes American, they don't want their kids to work in the coal mines. They don't want their kids to die building railroads or whatever. So they become middle class, whatever. So they need a new group. Every couple of years, you need a new group of slaves. And I think that's actually the system that we live in that nobody wants to accept. But how do we actually have an economy where that doesn't exist? I don't know.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. And I think that's the game. I think that's the ebb and flow of immigration, where it's like you can't actually make it where it's fair and everyone that wants to work, they can legally come in. And then we have an economy that does that, because if they have rights, then you have to pay them wages that are like pretty high. If people can achieve middle class status pretty quickly, they don't want none of their kids to actually work these jobs. So I'm like, yeah, but that's kind of my
A lot of sense.
cynical view of the world and how we sustain our economy.
How many stories did we do like last year where when people were crossing over the border and like hundreds of thousands of people at a time, it was like a big issue. And then we follow up with like Kellogg's and Frito-Lay's getting in trouble for having a bunch of
Tyson chicken.
undocumented workers in these
All the time.
poorest conditions. It happens all the time. So it's
All
all
like Guatemalan kids. Yeah.
Didn't they have like fosters or the foster farms or whatever employees wearing diapers so they didn't take bathroom breaks, and then they would just crank out the fucking chicken while wearing diapers and they shit and piss themselves? That's some crazy shit.
And you hear all about these conditions for like Amazon workers. It's like they're probably gonna be next. Amazon's gonna be full of like
Pictures of Amazon workers like taking shits on people's lawns and stuff because
or they're peeing in bottles.
they're being timed, you know?
Yeah, you see that shit? The peeing in bottles is crazy. So it's like, bro, these guys are next. Like at a certain point in time, these people are gonna be like, Americans are gonna be like, I'm not gonna work for Amazon. What the fuck is this? I'm out of here. It's gonna be a bunch of like Mexican dudes doing deliveries everywhere now. Like,
I wonder if there's a way though where they can do like a contract worker permit where they do have a visa to work on labor, but then they don't have the ability to become an American. I don't know if that would be possible.
sounds like too much paperwork.
You can have hundreds of thousands of workers come in to do certain jobs, but they're kind of protected as human beings, right? And then only so they're not trafficked and all these things. But then for the contract is you have to go back
Just seems like it's easier to just not do it.
Yeah,
Right. The American way is to blame the poor people
Yep.
while not talking about the rich people, and you blame the poor people
Yeah.
as much as you possibly can,
Yeah.
and you constantly blame them, and then you're like, oh well, they came across our border illegally and all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, dude, they're trying to make it,
Yeah. They're really poor.
But we go, no, let's blame them and focus on them real hard and only talk about them, and then meanwhile, you like I said, nobody wants to raise wages because why would you? If you can exploit these people, that's what you do. It's a model.
the best
Works
plan.
really well.
And then you have the poor Americans fight against the immigrants because immigrants are taking their jobs and shit, right?
It's like you don't want to pick strawberries all day. Get the fuck
Everything
out
is
of here.
just-
Don't talk about who's hiring them. Talk about them.
Yeah.
So Joe,
They've been
always
doing
has
that.
been.
They've been doing that for so long.
It's an age-old thing.
It's America's best play.
Isn't history just repeats itself?
No, it doesn't. No.
That's why we must forget it.
Like
we
the
must forget
90s.
I think because the racket works.
That's why it repeats.
It works because like
Exactly why.
We can't wait, by the way, as Americans, we can't wait. As soon as the good news came out that it was people in fucking wet markets who started COVID.
Good news.
Oh, good news! We can blame it on these animals in the wet market.
God.
We always do the same.
not the Wuhan COVID Center.
It's not even original.
It's not. We do. We do.
It's the Chinese bat eaters.
And then everybody who's like, maybe it's these rich people who are running these labs over here. No, killed. Just kill them online. Kill them on social media. No, remember, it's these animals at the wet markets. These fucking scumbags eating bats.
And the worst part of it all is they're so good at this is they just have poor people parroting whatever they want.
That's a fact too.
It's like
The messaging is so easy.
they just have us fighting amongst each other. Well, they don't have to deal with any of that shit.
No, because they're already on to the next fucking problem.
play.
The next play. They're
Next vaccine, right? They're probably gonna do
After
another one.
vaccine.
By the way, nobody loves Just Stop Oil more than Big Oil. Because
God, they
it
love
puts us all on their
they love
side.
it.
It really does. Because the messaging is so bad that I wouldn't be surprised to find out that those guys are paying for these fucking
It turns you off from it so hard.
So
yeah.
hard.
It makes you want more oil.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, just dump oil on everything.
Question is, how did those protesters get there? How did those protesters?
It's a psyop. CIA paid for it.
Honestly,
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
You drive your Scion?
Who
Did
is
that take off?
It's like the people putting bricks at protests.
yeah. Where does this come from?
It's like Patriot Front. They're gone now. You remember those guys?
They call them feds.
Yeah, they're feds.
The Nazi guys.
As soon as Catch Patel got in, Patriot Front's gone now.
Wow.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.